But Perth, Peter Garcia will know that they gifted that goal to City, and it certainly shifted the momentum.
What a moment for him, and that little mention of the fact that he started at Perth Glory and was considered surplus to requirements, or they didn't really want him or give him much of a crack. He got going as a young man. He was 20. He came back from at the time at Blackburn Rovers, decided to come back to Australia in search of regular senior football. Got going with Perth. Shane Smeltz was still at the club. He's blown past him, and he's got Bessart Berisha in his sights, and he's now got the most goals from Melbourne City as well, above Bruno Fornaroli. And by the way, with Bruno and Perth, I'm not sure if they're still at HBF Park. Everyone's disappeared from Perth Glory. They haven't come out for the second half. What's going on? Still waiting for them. But yeah, Jamie, 49 goals, so one short of the half century for Melbourne City. But yeah, started at Perth, went over to Brisbane Roar and had a fantastic goal scoring rate. His 2 seasons he spent there under John Aloisi with Roar, and they went close to making a grand final. And here's this record that he set as well, the fastest ever to 100 goals in Australian National League history. Bessart Berisha, it took him 156 games. Frank Farina and John Kosmina, 2 of the greatest strikers Australia's ever had, got in there under 200 in their NSL careers, but Jamie has blown them all away in just 144 games. Damien Morey, by the way, who's the greatest goal scorer in Australian club football history, took 217 games to get to 100. He really got going in the second part of his career because he wasn't primarily used as a striker early doors. But Perth are finally back out there, and the game can kick off, which is good, with Melbourne City 2-1 ahead. Wednesday evening football. They're going to be doing a bit of this Perth Glory in the next few weeks, with many games to catch up. Games are going to come thick and fast, and they want to get something out of this one. It's a massive task now that they're down against Melbourne City, but stay in touch with that top 6. They do have a fantastic record against Melbourne City, though, Perth. They've been beaten just twice in the last 14. It's a strange old record.
We did say at the start that, and we stick by it, nothing else but 3 points is good enough for Perth this evening.
No changes for either side at the break, but that press works for City, and it forces Liam Reddy into a mistake. Yeah, the shot count in the first half doesn't. A bit of a misnomer, this one. It was 9-2 to Melbourne City. Noon doesn't quite keep that in. There wasn't that great a disparity between the two sides, 9-2 in terms of shots in that first half.
Well, it didn't seem that way, but you know, I think a lot of those shots came in that first 15 minutes. 4 or 5 of them before Perth Glory certainly had control over the match, well, certainly territory. It's ended up with that fine economy, this strike.
Keogh giving Fielding a bit of advice there. Keogh, one of 2 Perth players in the book, along with Neil Kilkenny.
I would say, looking at Perth's bench, it wouldn't be too long before you see Joel Chianese.
There's attacking options there. Nick D'Agostino is back from injury as well, and Carlo Armiento we've seen. Young Kieran Bramwell, striker that Richard Garcia has lent on a little bit in the last few weeks. This is neat interplay between Perth down this right, but it falls to Griffiths, who takes no chances. It's a squad with a lot of depth. Glory. Neil does well with Castro there. McLaren to send Tilio on his way. Bring it top, Economides would have been in if Glover wasn't alert to the danger. Up to Keogh is battling with Jamison. Nothing's going right for Andy Keogh at the moment. He's given away the foul there. Scott Jamison just giving the Perth bench a bit of advice on the way back.
Well, to be fair, at first glance, it was 6 of one half and half a dozen the other, wasn't it?
We're going to hear a lot of Scott Jamison's conversations with Jamo in the second half here. No crowds allowed in tonight. You can hear more than you ordinarily do, and Connor Metcalf's done really well there, and somehow Marco Tilio hasn't scored. Jamie McLaren's blocked on the line, and Berenguer sends it up near the shed. That's an extraordinary piece of play that somehow doesn't eventuate in Melbourne City's third goal.
Absolutely incredible. Another shot, and Berenguer can't get control of this as he's trying to turn to hit it. This one comes off the post.
It's off Tilio's shin. Copying some of his own medicine with a cross that's too hot for everyone almost. Good run. Finish though as Ingham goes over the top of Noon. Curtis Good. Talk of Perth Glory's home games to come. Well, Melbourne City have got a few to come, and a couple of huge games on the horizon after this one. Brisbane at home on Sunday, and then Adelaide next Thursday night at home. As for Perth, the next two home games are against the other two Victorian teams, and Victory on Sunday and Western United next Wednesday evening. There's Melbourne City's next 5 games. Look at that, 4 home games on the trot for City. Say a Premier's plate in their lap, but
well, they've certainly got one hand on it.
Justin Griffiths. Look at that, what they do with their movements and rotations. It's got Galloway making an inside run all the way to the last line. Back to Tilio, good looking cross again, and it beats everyone.
Yeah, just got both on top of each other, Metcalf and McLaren there, and Tilio, a teasing ball to the back post. Collects it off Galloway. And Noon arriving a little bit too late on the scene. And again, Tilio gets the ball, you just always have a feeling something's going to happen.
He's got the physical advantage of being low centre of gravity type mover on the ball, but he's just at one with the ball, and it's really good to watch. Really easy on the eye. Here's Castro. Beautiful ball into the path of Ingham, who doesn't need to break stride. Noon does well to stop. He was thinking of Dane Ingham. Back to Wilson. Tries to zip it into the feet of Diego Castro, and it doesn't quite come off. enterprising beginning the second half, especially for Melbourne City, but doesn't have the makings of a game that's going to end the way it is right now, scoreline-wise. Kiss of death, that I know, but just has that feeling that both sides are pretty good rhythm with the ball, and when they want to ask the opposition questions, they do. And Tilio nearly asked a big one at Perth right there, and if not for a stray foot, Florian Berenguer was in, and now Castro can go the other way through Economides. First half goal scorer, Chris Economides, gets his feet just about sorted out. Back to Castro and Wilson. Ingham joining in. Fornaroli in the centre. Fast kick is Economides who attacks it. Good defending from Galloway. Otter to Keogh, not quite. And Aidan O'Neill's there to just smash it out of play.
Yeah, decent ball in from Ingham. Took a slight deflection. City defended it fairly well. I think it was Otter coming in. Hits that ball back into the penalty box. And Perth get possession back. A terrific tackle from Metcalf.
Not easy to do on Diego Castro. Aspo. It's really well to get there in front of the advancing City player. It's Craig Noon. Wilson. Keogh. Castro. Keogh. Back to Diego again. He'll go out the other side through Bodno. Otter. And that cross was
very unlike Otter, because you know he can deliver a good ball, but completely overhit that one in a good position, no pressure. There's the tackle from Metcalf. He gets to do some work in the middle of the park. I think him and Aidan O'Neill have been excellent in that area this evening.
Just about got their full complement back, Melbourne City. You know, Raj, the Portuguese defender on the bench tonight. And they're Andrew Naboot.
I need more from you.
Not ready. He's back in Melbourne, but should be okay for the Brisbane game, we're told, as Curtis Good just takes off on a gallop straight through the centre and then out to Noon.
Hold.
One way and that way on Dane Ingham. He set him up beautifully there, Noon, because he could see Dane Ingham's number. Couldn't come up with the cross he wanted to.
Well, Otter for Perth Glory down the other end, and this time it was Craig Noon. He made space beautifully, turned Ingham one way, then the other. Couldn't produce a delivery.
Ingham does well there with Connor Metcalf bearing down. Castro. Now Ingham again. No room there for Perth, so they go out the other side through Bodno. It's an inviting ball if it gets past Galloway, but the right back did well. He's had a busy night, Scott Galloway, especially in that first half period where Chris Economides, it seemed every time Perth Glory went forward, they just kicked it to Chris and see what he could do with it. Galloway. O'Neill advised by everyone around him to turn, and he does just that into space. Aidan O'Neill. McLaren back on his right. His first touch didn't quite work out, so it comes away to Keogh and Perth can break. 4-on-3 in City's advantage here, but Keogh links up with Economides. Back on his right again, how he scored the first goal. This time he gives it up to Fornaroli, who's twisting and turning, and Castro. Always too high.
Yeah, difficult one for Castro to control, but didn't they defend that well, Melbourne City? The break from Keogh, no one dived in. That's the end of that attack from Perth, blazed over the crossbar from Castro. As I said, come back to him quite quickly. There's the inside of the foot as well. Trying to guide that to the top corner, but Melbourne City's defending was certainly first class there.
past Fornaroli there, good. Can't. Slightly altered his positioning on that first line press, Bruno Fornaroli, or that first phase at least, getting in between the two centre-backs and those around him pushing up a bit higher. But City get out pretty comfortably in the end. And Jamison can play in noon, and Wilson had to be there.
Well,
Corner.
Well, good surges into the midfield again because Fornaroli's doing doggies between those two centre halves.
So he's pushing up higher in between them. And then
but no one's pushing up from behind, so it's better off just dropping off. Because there they just play it a couple of times and then one of them's free. And two last occasions, it's been Curtis Good. And then they have an overload down the left and it results with this set piece.
Corner is sent in immediately. Galloway will have a crack, trying to place it in that far post region. McLaren is the one to try and run it down and can't quite, but they still get the throw, City. You just wonder why they don't just press ordinarily with the 4-4-2 setup that a lot of teams utilise. Try narrow spaces.
Well, it's one or the other. If they're not going to go with him, Fornaroli should just drip back off to the halfway line.
That for him tonight at the moment is about as much fun as running the Nullarbor. City trying to force the issue there down that right-hand side. The City have got, and they've used this all game, just pushed up alongside McLaren. Keogh finally gets a foul, finally gets a decision his way, and Scott Jamison has gone into the book.
Well, it's two players that aren't going to take a backward step.
No.
Scott Jamison was determined that Keogh wasn't going to get away.
Debuted for Perth Glory as against Perth, I should say, for Adelaide as a 19-year-old, all the way back in 2008, Scott Jamison. 268 games of A-League ago. Kilkenny. His free kick is met by Good. His first touch off the chest was too big, otherwise Tilio was on his way. Noon kept it in. Ingham, a hint of arm, a hint of a foul, a hint of a foul, and eventually a given foul.
Well, there's a few three fouls in there.
Temperature rising a little bit here, Robbie.
There's a lot on this for Perth, and of course Melbourne City. Melbourne City, you know, they're not going to say it, but they want to get that Premier's plate wrapped up.
A long way from done yet, of course. It's only 3 points the gap between themselves and Central Coast going into tonight, but tonight they win, and with a game in hand on the Mariners, they're 6 points clear. It's a free kick, again met. Economides just loops it back for Fornaroli. What a chance for Bruno.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if he's surprised by it. Melbourne City get the header. What a ball that is back in. And Fornaroli can't bury it. That's a big miss. Usually it falls to this guy in that kind of position. Free header. You're thinking 2-2.
His last goal was all the way back in Perth's 11th game, the 24th of March against Sydney, the opener at this ground. But since then,
We're okay.
5.5 games without a goal for Bruno. His record in the A-League is 7 without a goal. 9 times out of 10 you would have expected him to bury that. Wilson gets away from Metcalf, but only just, and they can get over the back there with the Castro, but Glover's out there anyway. Poor old Andy Keogh is looking for his first goal of the season. If Bruno Fornaroli's not there, he's got the perfect run at it as well. Keogh can't take a trick at the moment. Griffiths, big switch of play. Noon, Jamison, third man run off the ball to link up with Noon, and Metcalf looking to turn it back in. Instead, he wins a corner. Past the hour mark. Melbourne City 2-1 up. And again, that 15-minute period before half-time is profitable for City. It's now 12 goals this season in that particular period.
And both their goals have come from the right-hand side. Tilio's cross and then Galloway with the cross for McLaren's header. But most of their attacks have come down this side, left.
Noon. But falls nicely for Fornaroli, who has time to pick his spot further upfield, but there's no Perth players there. So it's only Jamison who can zip it straight back to Tilio. Running with the ball. Yeah, look at that top corner instead to Noon. The cross deflected. Hasbro gets it away.
And Perth stayed deep there, didn't they? When the ball went all the way towards the halfway, they sat in.
Well, Berenguer, his night is done just past the hour mark, and Adrian Luna just dropped to the bench tonight. This busier week ahead, you dare say he'll come back into the starting lineup on the weekend, because that was the first time in 5 games that he started from the bench. Luna. And Bruno Fornaroli is the one to get an early mark. Joel Chianese is there. And yeah, those 3 attacking options are to be used right now by Richard Garcia. And wow, Diego Castro chasing a game. Heavy schedule for Perth. Armiento is on. D'Agostino is on as well. Economides is another one to cop an early mark.
No, I think that's what it is. It's the heavy schedule coming up for Perth, and he's decided that he's seen enough, and complete change of the attack.
Metcalf off the ball from McLaren. Going down is Kilkenny in the centre. Falls for Tilio on the edge of the box. Galloway, Luna, first touch. O'Neill, Jamison, right. Come back to Galloway. Luna, options. Chooses Tilio, back on his left. Picks out Chianese, unfortunately, but good play from O'Neill, front foot defending. Metcalf. Luna tried to leave it. Left it into the legs of a Perth defender, and Glory can break. No, they can't. Chianese.
2 examples of how they get it back so quickly, Melbourne City. And I tell you, they ask all types of questions in the penalty box, don't they? Left to right. So many options, and they're just rotating all the time.
The amount of movement that is there is league leading. I know that's a hard... Can't put it in a statistical category, but you just kind of stare at the screen and see how many light blue shirts are active, and it's most of them. Really hard to contend with, especially when there's no pressure on the ball and they can open up an area top of the 18-yard box. Tilio involved in a seemed to dance with Kosuke Otter for about 10 seconds there. He did everything but just lift him up, like the final scene of Dirty Dancing there. Kosuke Otter. Griffiths. McLaren expecting Tilio to be there. He eventually was. Again, this movement from City. It's opened up. Perth Glory. McLaren! He's got a double. He scored his 100th. Now he has 101.
Well, we're just talking about light blue shirts and movement. What about that for a goal? That is a brilliant team goal. Absolute top draw. This is a side at the top of their game, full of confidence, and the passing is slick and perfect. The weight on the passes are perfect because a lot of it's one touch. What a game this guy's had. Galloway, right fullback, not only defensively, and now he gets a second assist. And McLaren in the penalty box, lethal, deadly.
Back to the backyard with the twin brother with the goal set up by the old man. Left foot, right foot every afternoon. Even got the tyre out to wrap it around his waist and go off on sprints just to improve his sprinting as well. But with the ball, left foot, right foot, practicing so much. And it just becomes second nature after a while, and it is for Jamie McLaren in front of goal in the A-League. 101 A-League goals now for J-Mac. Wiley Walland is out there. I've seen him as a central defender. He's a left-sided defender, and he's coming out for Kosuke Otter on that left-hand side. So Perth are going to have to come up with something verging on the extraordinary here to get anything out of this critical game for them. Wilson trying, off on a Maisie. He can bring in Armiento. The better first touch maybe would have let fly with the left. Good cross from Walland. Colin Metcalf is the only man at the top of the box who it falls to. It's good from Kilkenny to get a touch on that. O'Neill just pushes Armiento off the ball. Luna rides a challenge and brings in Noon. Here they go again, City.
Keogh's leading the line at the moment, and D'Agostino on that left-hand side. Armiento looks like he's playing as a number 10.
It's just so much space between that frontline defender as Andy Keogh now was Bruno Fornaroli. Here's McLaren looking for a hat-trick. Throws in the way, corner. It's just stretching it so much for Perth, and then City can almost pick their spot. Tony Sage, the would-be ball boy tonight, unfortunately not enjoying things as much as he was about 25 minutes in. I wonder if he's thinking of the day that he told Jamie McLaren no thanks. Anyway, probably in the present, pondering how Perth can get into this 6 after their roller coaster season so far, which has thrown a few obstacles in their way. Hopefully the WA Premier is able to open things up on the weekend for everyone in Perth so they can get back to some sense of normality, but just in this sense that Perth Glory can have a crew in on the weekend for the absolute cannot, whatever you do, lose game against Melbourne Victory. Because Melbourne City all of a sudden are looking pretty good in this one. Sarmiento is back there covering and looking very good on this particular graphic in the left of your screen. 6 points clear. And that's the second half of the equation. Perth Glory, yeah, these games in hand haven't produced too much so far, and that gap is 7 points, 2 games in hand. So that's just 10th to 9th, let alone 10th to 6th. They would be cheering tomorrow night Melbourne Victory to win the game against Macarthur, just to keep 6th place Macarthur within touch. That's Metcalf. Who's the last line for City. Doesn't quite fall for him. Luna, O'Neill and Griffiths.
See that rotation, and this position Jamison takes up very often now is really interesting, isn't it? Noon drops back in there, Metcalf's further forward, and it was Luna that time in virtually the left fullback position, and Jamison nearly playing as a 10 there. Bit of a scuffed one with his right foot.
It wasn't as good as the goal that he scored with his right. Yeah, he just keeps his position there, and it's Noon to come back and help out the play out, and then that allows those further up the field like McLaren to rotate onto that side so they don't lose numbers down any channel that they want to play. Noon tried to just Took a little ball into McLaren that was blocked, but they win another corner.
No, they're controlling the game. They're playing like a side that are well ahead at the top of the table.
Very well drilled. Everyone knows everyone else's movements, and it's hard to stop. And Noon's corner is hard to stop as well. There's a chance there from Metcalf. Out to Tilio. One-on-one with D'Agostino. Doesn't really need to take him on one-on-one because Metcalf is free. Tilio tries to take Bodnar on. Bodnar does well. Only as far as O'Neill though. Pressure not relieved just yet for Glory. Noon. Luna's ball. It's Wallen underneath. D'Agostino back to help out. But again, it's just a clearance, and again, it's going to come back. Voila. Away from home. Luna, Neil. Good decision, says Scott Jamieson. They keep possession and they can set up again, City. Up until that point, it was like watching a training drill. A possession training drill where the other team's not allowed to touch it. Non-Bibs have the ball and Bibs just try and mark space and stop them playing forward. Here they go again, City. Adrian Luna, a lot of space. Craig Noon trying to catch up. He does eventually. Noon tries to get the other side of Dane Ingham, but gives away the foul in the process.
Yeah, probably tried to play in the wrong play. Had someone in that inside right channel through, but some of their football, as I've already said, just smells of a team full of confidence in each and every player.
It's fair to say Jamie McLaren is
Golden Boot
in control of the Golden Boot proceedings.
Well, it's a question of can he get to 30.
It's a question if second and third can combine and better his total. At the moment, 30, you reckon?
Well, he's certainly capable. How many games have they got to go? 7?
7 more after this. First to 30. Extraordinary. Bruno Fornaroli, the best at Melbourne City with 25 in a season.
And as you said, we have a lot of home games coming.
Bobo for Sydney, 27, the all-time record in the A-League in a regular season. Looking good to better that, Jamie McLaren. Came back mid-season. The last half of the last season, Warren Joyce was in charge. This is not a bad substitution for City, shows their depth. Austin Griffiths gets an early rest, and Nuno Reis returns to a little niggle. Kept him out of a couple of games, Portuguese defender. He'll be needed because, I don't know about you, Robbie, but Curtis Good, I can't think of too many other options at the back that can better Curtis Good at the moment for the Socceroos. See if Perth can set something up here as we enter the last 15 minutes or so at HBF Park. This is looking promising. Armiento turns to try and bring in Keogh, but nope, stopped again. And was pressured into a mistake. Austin Griffiths was having his quad worked on. It's just making sure that the injury that kept him out of the game 2 games ago is okay, as Dane Ingham just takes off all his own way. Beautiful ball out to Chianese, and Keogh, is this the moment? No. Just still looking for his first goal of the season. Andy Keogh, as Luna puts a party trick on. He had an airy, but eventually it works out because it got past Kilkenny. And McLaren peels off his defender, gives himself a bit of room, one-on-one. Aspro and Craig Noon looking for that fast tick. Well, he's always going away.
Well, you thought he was going to put his boot through this, and he's gone with the inside of the foot, and that was always going to curl away. Luna with the break, and Keogh at his best buries this. First touch isn't what it needed to be. That one was never going to travel the keeper, but Keogh, as I said, at his best, he scores that. Middle of the box. Just needed any kind of decent first touch.
Young striker Kieran Bramwell is out there, once a Perth Glory fan in the stands here at HBF Park, and now out there trying to do his best for his beloved Glory. It's been said before about strikers, they're just itching to get that goal, and it all changes for them, and sometimes they look like a player who's trying too hard and trying to force the issue. Do you get that feeling about Andy Keogh at the moment, Robbie?
He's not getting that many chances. You talked about that one where Fornaroli missed. The only chance he should have buried. Keogh was just behind. It's just not really falling for him. That was his chance there.
D'Agostino in his first minutes in a month and a half after injury. Can't quite get it right. Certainly dropping a little deeper at the moment, Melbourne City. I'm not entirely sure Patrick Kisnorbo is entirely chuffed at the moment, watching back there in Melbourne. There's Buckingham, his assistant, in charge tonight on the sideline. Neil Young, assistant stroke goalkeeper coach at Melbourne City. Control of this game, and at the moment Melbourne City in control of the destiny of the Premier's Plate this A-League season. Yet to come here though. Bramwell has a little look at where Glover was. Just got the feeling for a moment he was going to try and chip him, but elected to try and bring in Keonese, and in the end it's disaster averted for City. Good. Zosh. They can pick apart Perth again with this rotation. Playing through the back, they can, because the avenue this time is in a wide area to Jamison. McLaren, and that's not some of Scott's best work. Warland all the way up to Bramwell, but falls again for City. Feel a bit for Luke Bodnar tonight. Perth were on top, and Marco Tilio got the ball to feet, just zipped across that inadvertently put in the back of his net. Since then, pretty much it's been all Melbourne City. Big lesson for the young central defender, who was excellent against MacArthur on Saturday. O'Neill. Luna. Just needs to wait a little for it. Out to Noon. One-on-one with Ingham. Twisting him this way and that way. Ingham does well to come again, but stands it up. Too big for everyone. Galloway's there. Tilio turns around. Doesn't go in the end. Deflection. Corner.
Top game from this guy.
I've no qualms about replacing Andrew in the boot with him if they need to at the end of the season. Noon. Galloway. To Noon again. Body's there. It's good with the header. Got Daniel Georgievski as well back in Melbourne. Didn't travel for this one. Was included in the squad. Didn't travel, but he's not far away, obviously, and becoming an option for Melbourne City. I'd say, given Scott Galloway's performance at right back tonight, he'll have to bide his time. He'll have to wait, but he's brought in his cover because it looks like Nathaniel Atkinson could be gone for the season in his hand. Hopefully not. It's a chance that he's gone for the season, but hopefully he'll be back. He's having a good run of games and playing really well. Atkinson, before injury got him again. Aspro can't find Ingham. And there's bodies around the ball again for Melbourne City to stop what Perth Glory were trying to do. Tilio. Along with Warland. He's in Luna. His touch is just a little big, and Bodnar is able to clean up. It's hard to think of an area in which Melbourne City you could classify them as anywhere near deficient.
No, certainly not at the moment.
Sometimes teams, even when they're doing well, you just think, oh, well, there's this, or there's a certain element that you have a question mark about, but unless they're missing something, it's hard to pick holes in what they're doing at the moment as an A-League football team. Nice little play, and D'Agostino has a go. Back a bit of combo play with he and Armiento and a few others on that left-hand side. Then Garuccio and Kolakowski are going to get some minutes at the death here in Perth. Hearing Tilio and Craig Noon, the two wingers, are going to make way, so Garuccio will be playing in front. Scott Jamison down this left-hand side, and Metcalf can just assess his options and pick the right one, which in his opinion is Craig Noon. McLaren looking for his hat-trick, so he stays out there for the full 90.
Well, he's been excellent at the back again. Curtis Good, you mentioned him before, and every game he's outstanding for Melbourne City.
McLaren gets the ball safe side, does well to win the foul as well. Looks like those changes are going to be made. Tilio on the far side, come off. Garuccio comes on for Noon, and Kolakowski, who's been at Melbourne City since he was 15. Pascoe before that. Exciting player, again, good, direct runner. A little different to this man, Tilio, but still an exciting prospect.
Yeah, it's always impressed off the bench, but fine game from Tilio. And Craig Noon, both wingers, very effective in this game this evening. And Melbourne City have been in control the whole of the second half. Perth have had a couple of chances, which might have changed the direction of the game had they taken them, but they didn't.
Uh-oh, Tom Glover's given it up to Chianese, who just plays a bounce pass with the goalkeeper. What a chance for Glory to put a little bit of heat on, late on.
And Glover, I don't know what sort of picture he saw there, but it was only Chianese there, and wow, what a chance. And that's been the story of Perth's night.
Two just passed the ball to each other. Like a warm-up drill between Glover and Chianese. Here it is again. Wilson's pass is under hit. Metcalf goes flying in, and oddly enough gives away the foul. Feet up, according to Adam Fielding. Yeah, you can see stud showing. Ingham had to get out of the way. Colin Metcalf. Robbie, I mentioned this in the last telecast. He was described in the Newcastle Herald when he was playing for Northern New South Wales as a pint-sized midfielder. There's nothing of him. He was a bag of bones when he got to Melbourne City. Melbourne City saw something there and just went, okay, physically he's not there just yet, but he will be one day, because what we like about his game, we like very much. He's given time to physically develop, and now look at him. Absolute tank. Mauricio wins the foul. See it a bit.
He's one of these young players as well, sorry Adam, that's benefited from game time.
Yeah.
And now he's fully established. He's one of not only a starting 11 player, but a key player.
This goes to show you don't need to judge a player when they're 14-15 as well. City didn't do that. Fortunately for Newcastle, the dad took the job down in Melbourne with the Navy and turned him from a would-be Jet to a Melbourne City player. Just another cog in this Melbourne City machine that rolls on. It's a time added on here at HBF Park on your Wednesday night. It's the same old story of what we've seen in the last couple of months in the A-League. Melbourne City are taking all before them. Lost just one now, it would seem, unless something weird happens in the last 4 minutes here. Lost just one in their last 13, and they're going to go 6 points clear at the top with a game in hand on those around them. Being Central Coast and Sydney. Adelaide have played 19 as well. They're on 31. Brisbane out of the pack, perhaps, after tonight's win, after 18 games and 30 points. Luna to Galloway. Oh, McLaren's caught. That's a bit of a naughty one from Aspro. No damage done. And Neil not too happy with Jonathan Aspro. Stare of the owner, stroke ball boy, who hasn't had a happy night.
Easy, just easy.
It's good that they got him in, though. I mean, the chairman were allowed in for the AFL on the weekend in a closed shop. One rule for all. They've got a bit to do now, Perth, in the next few games. There's just no wriggle room. Victory in Western United, these 2 games to come in the next 7 days, they are critical. Wilson, again, surrounded almost immediately by those in sky blue who break Luna. Wasn't entirely sure which side to go. He went back, he gave it straight to Armiento. Gets another crack here, Uruguayan. Good. Now to Nuno Reis. You hear direction from Jamie McLaren even before he got the ball there, was telling Kolakowski to get on his bike. Fair bit to work out for Richard Garcia these next few days in preparation for this Melbourne victory game. They're huge. Players recovered, get their minds recovered, and then focus on victory. Who play tomorrow night, Melbourne Victory. Not an easy task for them to take on Macarthur on a Thursday night in Melbourne and then head over all the way over to the west for a game on Sunday. Kolakowski, off he goes. Flipped foot caught on the way through from Riley Wallen, who's going to go into the book. It's a little clip and another example, Robbie, of a player who doesn't matter how slight the touch, when you're going at that pace with that little balance and that little of the foot hitting the ground.
And show good he is with the ball at feet. He's fast, but he's fast with the ball. Wallen very late.
Kolakowski bounces straight back to his feet. Good. Garuccio. City happy to just keep in possession. Only one player out there, probably not, and that's Jamie McLaren looking for a hat-trick. Don't know if he's going to get that chance after that foul given away by Luna. And we're now into extra time, in time added on. No, we're not. Adam Fielding says that's enough, chaps. And Jamie McLaren hits the century mark and then goes flying past it with his 100th and then 101st goal in the A-League, capping a great night for Melbourne City. They fell behind. Fantastic strike from Chris Economides, set Perth on their way early, but City, thanks to an own goal from Luke Bodnar, fought back, and then two from Jamie McLaren, the second. A beautifully worked move down the right-hand side has given Melbourne City another 3 points, and they roll on. 6 points clear now at the top after this success in the West. Full time, HBF Park, Perth Glory 1, Melbourne City 3. Could not have turned out any better for Melbourne City.